We're here.
Welcome back to This Shouldn't Work, the show. Normally, we would just be interviewing one, but we got the power of two today. So say hello to our guests. We have Josh Lease and Derek B. Jones. Baron Jones. Is that what it is?
It's Anthony.
Banthony. Banthony.
It's Banthony.
Well, welcome back. We've missed you.
It's good to be back.
Bajillions.
It's been a while.
And
What, you've been here before?
Well, he's an actual cast member.
I'm part of the show. It's been a while. I really haven't been in here in a while.
It's the best though, because like every time we actually have him on, everybody like roasts him about if he's on the show or not. So for you to say that is so good. It's so good. Welcome back. Yeah, I know you're still here. No, I'm just kidding, buddy. But yes, today our official guest is Mr. Josh Lease. There's too much to say about this man, so I'm gonna let him do the talking. And
Shit, I hate doing that.
I'm just gonna be attending here because from what I know from this man is that in the music industry for a very, very long time, booking it, playing it, touring it, helping it tour. What am I missing anything? Like what?
I guess I've done sound a few times before.
Have you had a record label before?
No, I don't know why the fuck. Like I thought I wanted to try that.
The only thing I would say you don't have, right, or have touched and or done, because you've done your own festival even.
Yeah. Which I still don't know how the fuck I did that. I really don't. When I think about the madness of like what that got to, it's like, all right, I did it. What the fuck?
Well, we're gonna go down this rabbit hole because I'm curious to know all about it. So, welcome to the show, Josh Lee.
Thanks for having me, boys.
We all
Glad to have
know
you.
that at the jump that this show is about mental health, so we're not here to make fun of nobody or nothing like that. We're here to empower men, lift them up.
I'm in the wrong place. I'm definitely.
No, yeah, I was gonna say there might be some hurt feelings on this one.
It's gonna be okay, but yeah, no, more or less, we're just here to lift each other up
Ouch, my
because
feelings.
sometimes hearing the same story from a different person just resonates with you. So that's how we're gonna start. All right, Josh, how old are you?
Fuck, I wish I could say I'm this many and hold up some fingers, but I just turned 44 in June 30th.
44.
I don't feel it whatsoever.
That's a good number. You don't look it at all.
Nah, I mean, if I took my hat off, you might.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you can't have two bald people, so leave it on.
Okay,
just-
all right. That didn't happen.
We gotta censor that in post.
We used up our bald budget, so
I shaved this morning.
So we have too many bald people in here. But yes, 44. What's your birthday?
June 30th.
June 30th. So damn, we just passed it. So happy belated birthday.
Well, thank you, sir.
What did you do for your birthday?
Nothing.
That sounds
Nice.
nice.
No,
Hell yeah.
I just chilled at home and really didn't do anything at all. It's kind of what I wanted.
As a man,
Beautiful.
doing nothing for your birthday is also doing something for your birthday.
It really is. That's one of the best gifts you can get.
You know?
Yeah, dude, you know what? I've been thinking about this lately. You know, when we were kids, the things that we hated getting the most for Christmas, we love getting now.
Oh,
yeah.
Like socks
Oh,
and
yeah,
underwear.
dude.
Oh, God,
Like,
yeah.
dude, we were bummed out getting socks and underwear when we were 7 years old.
If
but
I got a 3-pack of sheath underwear,
if you
for
saw my
Christmas,
underwear
like,
right
yo,
now,
you
you'd be
balled
like,
out.
dude, somebody needs to buy you some underwear for Christmas this year for sure.
Expensive.
I mean, they're clean, kind of. They're just a little
Clean enough.
seasoned. They're veterans.
But yeah, it's tough because like you want to give a shit, but like also you just don't give a shit. So you're
Man, dude, as long as it holds the boys together, that's all that matters.
yeah, dude. Okay.
You know?
The crotch isn't blown out. It's there for ventilation. I did that on purpose.
So nothing.
I think it's there to prevent chafing.
So nothing for the birthday. Did you normally have? I used to have like actual like. I used to do this every time on my birthday, but I stopped doing that because I got real sad after a while.
That's kind of exactly where I was at. I was just like, you know, I've done and planned so much for my birthday. Like the year before, I did Leonard Skinner and ZZ Top in the back of a backyard bar. It was fucking sick. It was still a good time, but you know what? It just... When you throw your own parties, guess what? Guess who has to do all the work? You do. So it doesn't really turn out to be all that fun when you have to like set everything up, tear everything down, show up early. You know, even though you're like, I'm showing up late, I don't give a fuck. You still are the man of the hour that's in charge of everything, and just kind of you get burnt out.
Yeah.
I think we should repeat that burnout. Like, when the burnout. This is what happens. This is how I got burnt
That's why
out.
it's so easy to happen, too.
I'm gonna try my best to do this because I edited the last episode and we had like a hell yeah meter for Jared because he was saying some raw shit and I was like, yo, and I kept pointing up like this and he kept like staring like, what are you pointing at, dude? And I made like a hell yeah meter for him, so every time he said something that was fucking awesome, I just like kept increasing it.
Have you ever seen the Heavy Metal Parking Lot?
No.
Dude, if you've never seen Heavy Metal Parking Lot, it's on YouTube. It's filmed in 1986, and all it is a dude in Maryland that shows up to a Judas Priest concert with a video camera and just videotapes people in the parking lot.
That's
and
fucking
there's
awesome.
one red-headed, sail-haired woman that the only thing she says after every question, oh, hell yeah. They should just dub her in right there whenever you hit the hell yeah meter. Hell yeah.
We need a soundboard.
Mom? But no, so yeah, the topic on this one before we came in here, we were all discussing, it's just burnout. So we're gonna get into it, but I'll put up the burnout count.
Lower one.
Here. I don't even know, because we're like, our focus is a little different. Maybe right here? Maybe right here? Maybe right here?
That's
Okay.
blown out, actually.
Wherever I put it,
It's a different podcast.
Different podcast, all in general.
we're gonna have a burnout counter, okay? Because we'll be burnout saying it.
It'll be
There's
here-ish or something.
ish.
We'll put it in.
somewhere. Over my face, probably. Anyway,
It's a sensor bar.
so before we all became burnout, Ryan, where were you born?
I was born in Long Beach, California in 1981.
That's cool, dude. What brought you up here?
No, fuck, that's a long story. That's a real long story.
That's kind of what happens when you get on an interview.
I mean, I was born in Long Beach, grew up there with my grandparents and my mother, and just kind of, I mean, I remember a little bit of my childhood back then. My dad wasn't around, and my grandpa was the guy I looked up to, and lived with them until I remember my mom. I don't remember if she got married before we moved to Bishop or after.
Bro, you went to Bishop, California.
Yep,
Dude,
that's.
shout out Jared.
Yep, what's up, dog?
Full circle.
Hell yeah.
We'll get to that.
But yeah, I grew up. I moved to Bishop in I want to say 1988, and
That's when I was born.
lived there until
Year of our Lord.
after seventh grade. After seventh grade, I moved down to Kern Valley. So if you were to take Sacramento to Lake Tahoe,
Yeah,
Bakersfield to Lake Isabella, Kern Valley.
okay.
So kind of the same thing, but southern tip of the Sierra.
gotcha.
Definitely much lower in elevation. Like,
Oxygen.
yeah. I want to say the whole valley's pretty much been burnt with fire since I've left at some point in time over
That's
the universe.
so sad, though.
Yeah, you know, it's part of nature.
She
I mean,
keeps cooking.
It is,
It is
but
what it is. I know, we watched the world all burn and everyone's like freaking out, and like being in Reno, we're like, first time?
Yeah, right.
Well, on the way in, there's a fire burning
Yeah,
right
I
over
noticed
there.
that. I saw that too. I was there when I got
They're
here.
so clutch at it, though. It's like they're there in like 15, 20 minutes, it's gone.
Yeah.
They're so good at it.
Yeah, as long as there's no wind pushing the like brush fires, because I did that for like 8 years, and brush fires can get rowdy just because there's so much
There's just
light, flashy fuel in them.
Yeah,
They
right.
can take off to
Right.
the races, but then once the wind's done, that's when you catch it. So
Yep.
as long as it's not that big, heavy timber shit that burns for months on end.
Yeah.
So,
Especially where they haven't cut down the dead trees.
But yeah, so anyway, to
I'm
finish the
sorry.
question, I grew up in Bishop, lived there till I was about 13, moved to Lake Isabella, Kern Valley, lived there. I did 2 8th grade years there, freshman, sophomore year. Yeah, I was just an absolute
We'll get into that.
shithead.
yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to start. I was like, say 2 8th grade.
2 8th grade years.
We'll
yeah.
get into that. You kind of slipped that right
Yeah,
past.
dude, I just at that
Like a job
point in
interview. It
time,
was like 2 8th grade session.
at that point in
Don't
time
worry
in
about it,
life,
don't
like
fall.
I didn't have a whole lot of structure or discipline with
Yeah,
how
no,
I grew
you
up,
didn't.
and was just, I guess it was my way of rebelling. I didn't.
Yeah.
I was acting out in
Dude,
class and
Fucking hated school.
I'm also a special needs child, kind of. Like my brain, I was in special ed classes from.
See, we all find each other.
Like,
It's natural.
I don't want to say. Yeah, it was definitely labeled as special education, but I had classes with 4 people, 5 people in them until the 7th, 8th grade.
Had more, I guess they would say.
Attention deficit disorder is what I guess it is.
I wouldn't say it's an actual issue when it comes to learning. It's just dude, you need a different learning scenario.
I have to have hands-on.
Exactly.
If you tell me to go read a book, I can read everything, but I just don't absorb it.
Hell no.
No, I have to even if I'm really into it, it almost gets a little frustrating because I'm I can't do this.
I
have to watch a video. That's why university YouTube for people that like to use their hands is the greatest thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
All I had I had a snowmobile that I bought. It was one of the most expensive sad things at this point in time in my life. Just bought a snowmobile, took it out one time, and I hit a stump or rock while I was full bore into this fucking thing, riding it for the first learning lesson on a snowmobile, we'll say, but I just destroyed the track. I had no idea how the hell a snowmobile worked.
Right.
I watched a YouTube video, and me and my buddy just started pulling this thing apart, bought a track and put it back on, and now I know how the internal parts of a snowmobile work, and it's not as complex as I thought.
Yeah.
It's actually
one video and seeing how to do it, you're like, oh yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and that's
how
the
most
classes that I did well in, everything was hands-on.
Yeah.
100%. Wood shop, ag mechanics, welding, this shit. I helped a buddy build a fucking boat trailer that had a ski rack and a hoist on it when I was a sophomore in high school.
Hell yeah.
And then made an axe from a big splitting maul. Dude, I'm surprised my teacher actually let me build this thing. It was a 30-pound head with this massive bead I laid over the top and then sharpened it. If I would have shanked something with that and it had a steel handle that was a lead-filled pipe for a good point.
It was a different time.
If I would have shanked something splitting wood with that, dude, your shin would have just been peeled wide open. Thankfully, that never happened, and somehow I think my mom got rid of that thing. But it was just a straight Mad Max weapon.
Yeah, dude.
I bet you the teacher was just damn, that's badass.
Dude, he let every. I bet I'm pretty
man.
sure he did. That guy didn't give a fuck. You'd be in the welding booth, fucking all of a sudden you're hitting the spark plug sneakatokes, and you
fuck yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
But fuck, God, I wish I could remember his name, but he would walk by and peek in and be like, "What's going on in here?" Oh, nothing. No, dude. Speaking of sneakers,
I used to smoke weed in the oxyacetylene welding booths.
Yeah.
In high school, yeah, dude. 'Cause that fan fan sucks everything
Did you ever
straight
fill
up.
up a bottle with acetylene and fucking throw a torch next to it, and fire off the liter bottle?
No, but I melted a couple quarters and then a buddy came up with a hammer and just whap.
Oh, dude.
Dude.
Did you get metal down on your boot or
I got a couple right in the chest, and that was it. But just the tiniest little splatters.
All right, I got. Were you in wood shop?
No, I wasn't actually. I was only in metals.
Okay, I did wood shop. This is what got me kicked out of my freshman year in high school.
Let's get into it.
So bandsaw sawdust is really light and fluffy, right? Mm-hmm. I taught the kids that you can take a lighter and hold it underneath it, and once it starts the flame starts catching up to the pile of sawdust in your hand, you can let it go and it'll turn into a big fireball. And Mr. Oh man, I was thinking of Mr. Stewart. He was a younger teacher. He was filling in for the woodshop teacher that was out for leave of some sort. But I knew him from skiing and snowboarding. That's been my shit since I was a little kid.
Right.
But I would always see him up on the mountain, and so I thought I was in and homies with him until I almost blew up the wood shop. And we had a huge hand of it, and he was outside when everybody communicate. I don't know what goes on in classrooms anymore because it's been a while. But you know how they had the class phone that was sitting right there?
Yeah.
He had the class phone and he was outside of the wood shop. And he said that he saw, like, this was after the fact, like, once I was, like, away from school, he told me what happened. He's like, I just saw this huge flash from inside, and I had one of those face shields on when it happened. He's like, I walk over on the corner, and the whole thing's filled with smoke, and it's just your face just floating. He's like, I had to do my job.
Yep.
He's like, but it was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
That's awesome.
And then I got a good talking to, but that's, I was always that kid in school, so that's another reason why I got held back, I'm pretty sure, too. It was just, like I said, it was just my way of rebelling, acting out, and I guess I like fire.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah.
That's probably why I became a firefighter at one point, too.
Hey, you're giving back.
Yeah. I learned a skill.
So did you complete high school?
Yes, I did. So my freshman and sophomore year was really, really bad. Me and my mom weren't getting along.
Yeah.
This is gonna get kind of fucking deep right here, I guess, with me. Is
That's what we're here for.
In this whole thing is we self-reflect and go in, at certain times, and like a long time ago, I would say my biggest things in life that I was afraid of was I hated coffee. I still am not a big fan of it.
Yeah.
But coffee grounds, cops always make me feel even if I'm like doing good, when a cop's around for the longest time, it made me feel just uneasy.
Yeah.
Because it felt like they were trying to, I don't know, I was a shithead, but it just always felt like they were trying to,
no, like,
you're doing something wrong, even though I wasn't. And then girls, and I think, I ended up living with my aunt and uncle my junior and sophomore year of high school, to give me the structure to be able to graduate high school. So long story short, yes, I did graduate high school. My sophomore year, I had 78 unexcused absences. I was kind of like a social, I don't know, I had no confidence in myself. I got picked on a lot at a certain point in time. I didn't let people pick on me, but I did get picked on me. When I lived in Bishop, I was the only white kid that walked home on the reservation, and that wasn't really that
That'll
fun.
do it. Yeah.
After a certain point, we became cool. You can only get beat up so many times before,
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah.
but then they're like, oh, this kid's like kind of fighting back. That's something I've always just learned to do, is no matter what, fight.
Yeah.
Because I'd much rather fucking, and that's in anything, even, with being burnt out, you still have to fight.
Yep.
Is that number 2?
No, I think that's 3.
That's 3. But even when you're burnt out, you still have to keep going. You still have to keep fighting, no matter what level it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
You can take that shit to the bank. You know what I mean?
yeah, you had to sink or swim. Like that.
So what else do you fucking do? You know what I mean? Like, what else is there to do? Just sit there?
I'm not going to give up.
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's been times like just recently where I didn't know what to do, and my problem is when I get that way, when I don't know what to do, I close up and I shut everybody the fuck off.
Okay.
And that is a problem that I know that I have.
Yes.
And it's something I've always done. Do you remember Steve Escola?
I don't think so.
I used to do shows with him. He was a big stocky dude, like Stephen Shelley.
Compared to me, everybody's a big stocky dude. So I don't know.
But he ended up passing away. But he's the one that helped me with Spring Meltdown and get it to where it was. And without that man, there's a lot of things that I couldn't have done. And
we will absolutely get there. I promise. But how the hell did you get to Reno?
Oh, fuck. Well, I mean, I don't really... I stayed in Reno for a little bit when I was with Otis, but going back,
what is your affiliation? Like, how the hell did you become incorporated with this place, right?
My great-grandparents lived in South Lake Tahoe in the 60s and 70s. I actually have my great-grandpa's ID in my house. It's like, I do... even though I didn't grow up there, my roots are from there.
Yeah. So at what age did you head that way?
19.
19 years old? So it was like right after high school?
Right out of high school. Me and my aunt started getting into it and not getting along. At the same time, it just, my aunt and uncle gave me the structure I needed to graduate high school, and I went from my sophomore year of not having, that 78 unexcused absences to perfect attendance my junior year. So I did my freshman year in between my sophomore and junior, and then I did my sophomore year in between my junior and senior. And by my junior and senior year, once I had that structure, I was in AP classes, psychology.
Okay, yeah.
And had like, once I had that I can't fail pressure on me, I did my best. And that's something I've noticed I've done too, which, you were talking about me and my time. You recognize the time that I expel, and I'm busy all the time. And I think the reason why I feel that is, and somebody asked me a while ago, is do you feel that you perform your best when you're under pressure? Fuck yes, I do.
Yeah.
And I'll even wait until it's like, holy fuck, I'm frantic and I have to handle whatever this is. And then I attack that thing as hard as I can. But then I neglect other things as well. So, anyway, graduated high school. I ended up moved. My aunt said we got into it. And she was like, as soon as you graduate, you're going back into Lake Isabella. And I was like, the fuck I am. I'm out right now, if that's the case. And packed up. And from April, for about a year, I was homeless in Long Beach, just kind of bouncing around, not doing the best, trying experimental drugs and things. If you ever hear of Datura, don't try it. It's fucked up. It's a flower.
Haven't even heard
right
that one.
Across the street from a high school.
Wow.
It was White Trumpets or Hell's Bells. It's fucking the gnarliest. I don't even know what to call it, but like real hallucinations. Not like eating mushrooms and being like, oh.
Don't do bad drugs, kids.
Yeah, no.
I don't know.
Don't drink teas out of white flowers.
I don't know if we're going to be held responsible for telling people not to do things, and then they go do them anyway.
Well, I just did it out of curiosity.
Free will is free will. You guys can do what you want.
Well,
I suggestions.
Exactly.
Suggestions.
Allegedly,
I would suggest not to do that shit.
Allegedly, this is what happened.
But I moved to Incline first, and was living with my other uncle.
Yeah.
Who knew that I was once again not in the greatest of shape. And he's like, hey, I got jobs up here, can put you to work doing construction. I like construction, but at the same time, there's also things that I wouldn't call my favorite, and I always wanted to be a firefighter. So
yeah.
I ended up becoming a firefighter a couple years later into that. So then found the perfect dream of firefighting in the summer and snowboarding all winter. I'd work in a shop a couple days a week, and I'd do 312s, and then I'd snowboard 4 days a week.
Hell yeah.
And then I'd just go back and forth to that, and then I became in a band, and I guess life honestly really started in South Lake. So
perfect. Now I'm glad we got to that conclusion, because there's always this follow-up question everybody loves to hear it. When did you find music?
That's a really good fucking question. So we're gonna brandish a tattoo here. Hold on.
Fuck yeah.
You guys see it?
Hell yeah.
That's not his wiener.
Mr. Blue Eyes there. My grandfather actually. My mom was always into it too, but what really resonated with me was after dinner, my grandpa had a piano, and he even had the old 8-track tape of Rat Pack in his 72 Plymouth Chrysler. Got a little excited there. Leading into it. He had a bright yellow 72. No, it was a Duster, Plymouth Duster.
Okay.
And it had an 8-track in it.
That's so sick.
But that I would say that was my first real introduction to music. And he would drink his martinis after the news came on and had dinner, and he would get on that thing and start singing. And I don't remember what he used to sing, but man, he would play piano and sing every night, and I would sit on his lap, and that was my real introduction to music. My first concert, I was 4 years old at the Irvine Meadows Amphitheater that's no longer there, and that was Elton John.
Oh.
Damn. That's an introduction.
And then I want to say I was around 6 years old, and my first, the second concert was at the Hollywood Bowl, and if I do remember correctly, I want to say Cheap Trick opened, and because I was blown away with that 6-neck guitar.
Yeah, dude.
And I didn't know. I was like, "What is that?" And it had checkers on it. At the time, I was obsessed with the Vans old school slip-ons, so I loved the checkers.
I love how everybody goes through that.
And then it was Billy Idol and REO Speedwagon.
Nice.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Sign me up.
First concert that I took my mom to, that I had my choice to go get tickets for, was Korn on the Life is Peachy tour, opening for Metallica on the Load tour.
Holy fuck. That's what's up. That's a.
And I want to say that was 96. I have a ticket stub
wild.
somewhere.
I was 2.
So all around, been involved with music, you would say, right?
Yeah, I would say I really started like having the drive to get into music. It's all like I was always singing at a young age that I remember.
Yeah.
Never had lessons at all. I just always heard something on the radio and then tried to mock it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even down to
That's
fucking
how they get
Aqua,
you.
Barbie girl.
Oh, you gotta get that range going. How else do you know? You miss every shot you don't take. Wayne Gretzky. Did he say that?
I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea, actually.
It sounds fitting. Let's run it. We're in our little bubble here.
Don't fact check that.
Yeah, don't ever listen to what I say.
I did just become a fan of hockey, though.
Okay. I'm trying to find a team, I guess.
My wife and I are doing this
Come up
thing.
and check out a game in Tahoe. We have a pro team. I know there's one down here too, but the one in Tahoe is like, I don't know, they're packed all the time and they're violent.
Hell yeah.
I didn't even know we had a pro team in Tahoe.
I kind of
No,
knew
you
that.
got a pro-
yeah, I
semi-pro
actually have
team.
one of their stickers.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
The Night Monsters.
I think they were at the air races on the
Night
last year. They had a
Monsters?
booth
The Night
set up.
Monsters.
Yes, that's it.
That sounds cool as hell.
Imagine like a Triceratops
Okay.
that like swims, I guess, and that's Tessie. It totally is not exactly what
It's
Tessie
the
is.
Tahoe Tessie.
Tessie's more like a serpent, but whatever.
Tessie doesn't.
Tahoe Tessie's different.
That doesn't sound like a. Doesn't sound like something good.
Hockey games are fun though, dude.
I mean, like I feel like you would wake up next to a Tahoe Tessie, you know? Sorry. We're gonna get back to this here. All right. So, overall, what was the music that was getting you through like these hard times in school? What were you listening to?
Man, that first Slipknot album. Like
Yeah,
when I was
buddy.
like emotionally fucked up.
Yeah.
That first Slipknot
Self-titled album?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That, and I just started listening to that recently again. Man, Joey Jordison was so fucking far ahead of his time.
Dude, yeah. It's
Yeah,
weird
yeah.
to see like
I mean-
records like when they came out and like what they sounded like.
Dude,
Compared to
that
now.
drumming is insane. You compare that to like drummers right
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
and he was a different breed back then. Like,
He was doing shit that nobody was
changed
doing,
it.
and
Yeah,
people
he was.
Yeah.
He needs more credit than he gets, I feel.
he gets a lot of credit, and he still needs more.
But
And that's an understatement.
definitely Sabbath too, man. Sabbath, like. So when I was in high school, that's when I really started getting into music, and I was into a little bit of this, a little bit of that. If it was fast and heavy, I was into it. I really liked Pennywise a lot.
Okay.
So a lot of that, like About Time, like when I was like 15 years old, About Time and snowboarding, dude, that's all I had a fucking tape player in my fucking chest pocket, and I was listening to fucking
That's what I'm talking about.
like Pennywise, About Time, Out Come the Wolves, Rancid.
Tell them how hard it was if you liked a song to like go back and listen to it on a tape player.
Oh, dude, you just had to. You couldn't. Like, you'd have to push the button, and then wait at least a minute because it doesn't go that quick when you rewind it. But then usually when you rewind it for a long period of time, you're risking the tape just fucking unspooling.
So we'll just put it this way: you guys have it so good, so good.
Hey Siri, what song was that?
That's so amazing. Well, that's cool you sharing all that. Now, that is the dying question that I have is, when did it become serious for you? When did you like, hey, I need to start a band, or hey, I want to actually throw my first show? Like, what was the first thing that you did in this? Me, it was actually playing in a band, playing a show before I threw a show. What was it for you?
So when I first moved to Tahoe, like I was always like a hang around with the bands in high school and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I remember we had this band Dyer that was the guy actually, the drummer actually became the music teacher at the school I graduated from.
Okay.
But
Nice.
his band is probably the only death metal band that's ever played in the courtyard of Lakewood High School.
Okay.
But they played, if I remember correctly, they played Linoleum by NoFX. And the place erupted, dude. I just remember seeing this big old cloud of dust going off, and like all the vatos were getting into it. And, like, dude, it was just so many different, like, in a school like that, there was a lot, like the cultures were different.
Right.
You know, they were kind of segregated themselves in a way, but at the same time, you know, we all got along and knew each other, but you could, you know, different people hung out in different places. And I just remember everybody came together and, like, dude, all the yard staff was freaking out. Dude, it was so good.
Dude, the unexpected school mosh pits are always epic.
I think I saw 2 in my
only
middle
seen
school. My middle school was whack, man. There wasn't enough metal. There was like 10. There was like 10 metalheads in my entire school.
Yeah, it wasn't anything crazy.
Dude, so I was in school when Columbine happened. And Trenchcoat Mafia was a thing,
Yeah.
and there was this kid that was always wearing Morbid Angel shirts, and at the time, like that was my first introduction to death metal was Morbid Angel's The Covenant,
Right.
and I was
start.
playing that in the locker room, and then all the brothers were rocking Chronic 2001, and so it was just going back and forth between those two albums.
Such a good mix.
Yeah, dude. Hell
Between
yeah.
those albums would be
And
so
then,
fire, dude.
and then the quarterback coach would always wanted one day a week to play in the locker room too, and it was always Oingo Boingo.
Yeah.
Which is, dude, that's
Not bad.
dude,
Yeah,
that's
you gotta have the full balance.
Dead Man's Party really can set the, you know, it makes you want to just
Yeah,
That's awesome.
pound out some rats.
If it's a Friday night, dude.
Yeah, dude, that's better than going to a kegger.
Yeah.
By far.
But this kid, like, I don't remember his name, but he was like, you know, your typical death metal dude. It just did not look friendly. But every time we spoke, he was super cool. He just didn't really have a whole lot to say to the general population in the school.
I can relate.
But
yeah.
as soon as that happened, because he was wearing Deicide shirts and Morbid Angel shirts, the kid was gone.
Dude, a
That's it.
side shirt. Let's go, baby. What is that? Is that how you started your first band, or did you throw your
No,
first
so
show?
the first time I was ever on stage, my buddy Joe Burcell and his dad used to run this place called The Place in Wilfred Heights, California. And it was like a bar, but for kids. Full arcade, had a stage, but where the bar came into play is they had like, before sodas were a thing, or like custom sodas where you can add
Right.
like different things like
Right.
the French sodas.
Yeah.
They had stuff like that. They had like a small kitchen menu. It was in the back of a diner that his dad owned and ran, or his parents did.
Yeah.
And they were Christians that used to party, but, you know, didn't party anymore. So they wanted to do something to have live shows and, you know, invite the kids and give something them to do.
That's awesome.
So
fucking cool.
the bar was, and they also had a ton of milkshake creations.
Oh, cool.
So, they also ran it like that. So, you know, you came, you got some snacks, you got like, you know, like a chili boat or, you know, your
Right.
Frito boat, thing like that. And then played some video games, and they had bands. So Joe started playing drums. Frank, his dad, was on guitar, and I remember we'd always play Metallica and Black Sabbath songs.
So you would do cover songs on stage? That's like how you got started?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I was really great or knew like full songs or anything, but
Yeah.
that was like my first experience of just having fun playing music with friends was literally on a stage.
That's cool, man.
It
love
was.
that.
I never
Yeah,
really
yeah.
thought about that.
Because,
Like,
I don't know. If I had to dissect my story on that one, it was a lot of just in my room going, "This sucks."
oh, dude, I went through that though too. Like when we actually started my first band, and I was talking with my buddy that actually recorded the first 5 songs that IDK did.
Okay.
And the first 5 songs, the plan was to be a punk band. but there was metalheads in the band that were clashing with the idea of being a punk band.
Yeah.
So it made this sound that was very, very, very unique. I wouldn't quite call it good, but I've seen bands develop bigger names and reputations with way shittier music.
Right. Happens all the time.
But I can't stand it. I hear that shit and I'm like, dude, turn it the fuck off. It's like just fingernails on a chalkboard. I don't like it, but my buddy was like, no, dude, it's really cool. Like, I really enjoy listening to the songs, and like we had amazing hits like Pissing Out My Ass, and it was a song that we wrote literally in one. We're like, let's write a song right now. We played it once and it just made a bunch of noise, and then we did it again and it stayed.
Beautiful.
And it just it was like
So
kind of like just acid gone bad, but in your ears.
let's go one by one. Let's take what is your what do you call it? Your band track record. Like, let's go for the first one and let's walk them all through. Have you only been in one band?
No,
Tell me
three
your journey, dude.
technically.
3. So give me the journey. What happened?
IDK started. It was just, a bunch of dudes that were living in Tahoe, snowboarded and did the thing, and they all those guys originally grew up there. I was the only one that didn't, that came in, but they had all grown up together, and I was singing karaoke at Lakeside Casino, dollar drinks and fucking karaoke until like 2 a.m, dude.
That's awesome.
And I'd always sing like the hits were always Sabbath songs. NIB was definitely the one that people were like, oh dude, that guy's got some pipes.
Nice.
I would do that. I would do Tool, Anima, Three Little Pigs. I'd do some Sinatra, Phil Collins.
It's wild to picture Josh Lease just out here belling it.
I'm hearing Three Little Pigs, like.
No, I'm just thinking
That's what people fucking
That's
do.
fucking rad.
Like, instead of saying the name or my name, it wasn't just like, Josh, come on down, and fucking it was Father Get Down, which then later became
Father
my
Get Down.
But then later I started
That's
using
sick.
that as my DJ name whenever I went.
Father Get Down.
Oh, good.
Father Get Down, dude. He's fucking in the house.
So that's how your first band met you? They caught you doing that?
Yeah, like I said, I'd been the hang around with bands in high school, and I started doing it here when I moved to Incline. This was 2001, and there was this band called Jehovah Witness Protection Program.
Love it.
And they had their
Shout out
stickers
to you.
just said no Jehovah's.
JPP, dude.
Beautiful.
It was like, so, and then I started catching on that like there was Hoss Hogs in South Lake. So I started going over there and hanging out. Even though I was 19, I fucking looked like this, so I never got carded.
Gonna toe tap you.
And just started hanging out there. Then I ended up working there. I was like one of the last bouncers before the place closed down and turned into the place it is now. Well, it turned into a Thai restaurant, and then it turned into Scusa's. Or Scusa's moved over there. But just by hanging out and being around musicians, that's kind of how I got invited to go play with these guys. I didn't have anything, and then once, I was we were all borrowing a PA from someone just to have a band practice, and then you start realizing the things you need: microphones and speakers to go with the PA. Then you're like, fuck, I can put shows on. So, in Tahoe, nobody, like, people were booking us, but we weren't like being brought on to metal shows because there was no metal bands coming to town at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And we were great for whatever. Like the first technical show we played, I just drove past the house yesterday, actually mountain biking. It's up on top of Kingsbury Grade at like 8,500 feet.
Nice.
And we had the 5 songs that we put the demo out. We played a house party and packed everything up. All those people from the first round left, and the whole party flopped, and there was a whole new squad of people that showed up. So we pulled everything back out and fucking threw the party, or played the same 5 songs again, just a whole new group of people.
That's awesome.
That's sick.
Brilliant.
Then if I remember correctly, like a week later, it was March 16th. We played Rojo's, which is the very first bar show I ever played, and which was in IDK, and it was also the very last show we played, and I want to say that was in 16. So I don't remember the whole length of the band, but it probably lasted solid 12, 13 years.
That's a good
With
run.
a couple breaks here and there. A lot of member changes, different people filling in here and there, but
How many shows do you think you played in that band? I think I broke him.
dude, yeah.
Bros.
Dude, at one
That was
point
cool.
in time, we were gigging fucking so hard. Playing out of town on the weekends and in town on the weekdays.
Fuck yeah.
It was different back then, though.
It's getting too sexy in here. Keep talking.
It was just different back then, though. Like, people seem to be more, what's the word? Where, they had balls, I guess, would be to say. Like, now nobody's afraid to really play heavy music. Like, IDK played at fucking Valhalla, the state park fucking
yeah.
thing right on the lake. We played at Zephyr Cove. We were actually the last band ever to play at Zephyr Cove.
Nice.
It was the Hyenas and IDK. It was for this girl's birthday, and
That was the reason we were left, man.
ironically, IDK was on the front page of the paper
Yeah.
for being and we were all standing at Zephyr Cove before we were even in a band, and it was it was saying that the noise ordinance and the locals are shutting down live or amplified music at Zephyr Cove.
Because of you.
No, not because of us, but they were just tired of all the music playing there. But they used a picture of us before IDK was a band,
Nice.
and put it on the front page of the paper, and we were the
Run
last band to
them-
play there ever.
Run them their check.
on June 6th, 2006. So we played
got the
666
date.
on the beach.
Hell yeah. Oh, that's good. That's
In
good.
Lake Tahoe. Could have asked for a
awesome.
better day.
That's
and
great.
then that night was the girl that had the house, the first show we played.
Yeah.
It was, I think, her 21st birthday. So we went up there and fucking ripped that house apart afterwards, too.
Nice work.
So, I mean, dude, man,
Nice.
there was definitely some good times. Fucking something, like I said, sometimes we play a couple of shows a day. We play shows in North Lake and come over and play South Lake. Like, IDK was gigging forever. So if I would say, fuck, we had to at least reach like 350 shows. If not more.
Hell yeah.
That's fair.
We played a lot.
At what, I'd love to ask this question too. I think I asked Jared this question. At what show did you realize you needed t-shirts?
Right away. Right the fuck away, dude. I was doing anything and everything. The first deal that I made, we only got 10 t-shirts. That's all we had money for. We were all just broke fucking punk ass kids. And I was like, we need t-shirts. I want to see people wearing our shit.
Okay.
And somebody just made this it looked like they just took a font and went and like just
yeah.
drug it. Fucking that's where it started.
That's it. There you go.
And then Andreas actually made a really cool shirt that was just block lettering IDK with blood on the top of it. And it was just single color, and then it was all of our skulls. That was pretty cool. I have that shirt around somewhere.
It's a relic. That's a relic.
How far did you travel in IDK?
Furthest IDK was up to almost Canada.
Damn.
Yeah.
How far did you tour? Like, what was the longest tour you've done?
Longest tour I've done was with All Hail the Yeti, but I was just driving and
Shout out to All Hail the Yeti.
fuck.
Love those guys.
We were just causing problems across the country with that one.
We'll get into that in just a second. What?
But the longest that I've ever done,
With IDK.
with IDK, yeah, I think we went up to like Olympia, Washington.
Okay.
So like almost on the border, and then there was a couple other like border towns that we played right there on the little peninsula thing. Like you can see over to Canada.
Awesome. What was the next band after IDK?
I joined Otis while I was still in IDK.
Okay.
And I did IDK for a hot minute, or IDK and Otis for a hot minute. And that's when I started really like kind of tapping into more of the death metal side.
Yeah.
Hanging out with those boys. And then I also started listening to like old school country that I never really gave a chance before. Because those dudes like definitely fucked with some Buck Owens and
Oh yeah, it gets
like Johnny Paycheck and stuff like that. And I was just like, man, I wasn't really expecting this. Like, I didn't know
It
you
always
boys-
gets you eventually.
Well, I'm sure a lot of musicians want to ask this question too. They never really get the option to because like somebody, they'll come across somebody that played so many shows, being in multiple bands. What was it like trying to keep up your stamina for that, but also keep your head straight and give the time to both to where you weren't pissing off anybody on both ends?
I think I was pissing off everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point in time in my life, like, that's when it was like, I don't want to say I was like rock stardom by any means, but I was doing the rock star partying.
Yeah.
And I was able to kind of survive. I wouldn't say live, but I survived off of throwing shows. So between doing both bands, throwing the shows that I was doing, help, you know, because I was doing shows in Tahoe, shows in Reno, some shows in North Lake, and even down in Sacramento at times. Like, I was able to stay afloat and just go for it. And I wouldn't say I was great.
What was the
back
first
then.
show you threw?
First show I threw. I have the flyer. We hand cut it, like, it's old school. Like, we hand cut it out and fucking taped it all together. It was IDK, Drinking Machine Guns, and Squatters in Paradise at Rojo's.
Cool names.
Drinking Machine Guns is from North Lake Tahoe. There's some pretty rad punk rock. Then Squatters in Paradise was our buddies from South Lake, which is now FO out of South Lake. So FO is half of Squatters in Paradise and half of IDK. Original IDK drummer and guitar player.
Okay.
Nice.
So they're still playing music, which is
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Did you make money off your very first show you threw?
the band did.
No, did you, like, when you're like...
No,
hey,
I never did it like that. I just gave it to the band.
Dude, I was the same way.
Well,
did they-
well, let me rephrase that. If it was like for the band, it was for the band.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it was like there's overhead and things like that, then that changed.
But
Or if
that
I was
should
throwing
always
out,
be
like-
expected, right? Like, hey man, we got to pay the venue for using it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily that. For the most part, some venues would charge, but most of the ones up there just would be like,
That's great.
it is and it's not. You know, the way I look at, if everybody aligns and does their job, the band does their job, the promoter does their job, and the venue does their job, besides just open the door, meaning that we're all using all things possible to get people through the door, we're going to have a good show.
You're funny.
I know.
I didn't realize we went right into a comedy section this time. You know what I mean? Anybody knows when you throw a show, being the promoter, nothing goes right, dude. Ever.
No, never.
Not once. And it
But-
sucks being the promoter and playing the show at the same time, too.
It's
And I don't think we talk about that enough either.
No, dude, that'll burn you the fuck out. And it does, but at the same time, you know what's crazy for me on that?
Yeah, bro.
Because I never had the chance to. Usually, it always ended up with, because a lot of the people that were coming to shows in Tahoe were kind of coming to see us. They didn't know who the fuck Warbringer was a few times, or like Battlecross. The first time I played in Purification by Fire,
Yeah.
I never even played with them before. Didn't even really know their music
shit.
all that well. It was my birthday. I was just like, I heard their music enough to be like, yeah, I can wing this.
Yeah, I got this.
And
Hold my beer.
fucking, yeah, that's pretty much what I did. And then we ended up closing for it was Huntress, then Battlecross, then us. And we fucking slayed it. And at one point in time, Kyle and the Battlecross dudes reached out and they're like, dude, you got a set of pipes. He's like, I'm going to have to sit out this tour and I might need you to fill in. And I was like, I didn't even know what the fuck I was doing, dude. But all right. And they did call me at one point, and I tried. I just didn't have the equipment to really like. Yeah, this is what I can do with my voice.
Right.
I sent in a video of me just screaming into my iPhone, and they took Adam Cody. So.
There you go.
I mean, that's cool. I mean,
That's cool. You gotta go through it.
That's okay, man.
yeah, I
That's
mean,
so
Adam
funny.
Cody's a fucking monster, so I can't hang with that guy. If you don't know who he is, it's vocalist of Wretched. Oh,
Vocalist of who?
the Wretched. They're a prosthetic band.
A prosthetic band?
Prosthetic
I don't
Records.
know. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, no, don't know.
Do we just lose, like, cool points?
No.
Okay. Like, everybody knows who that is, you stupid ass. And I'm like, okay, my bad.
I mean, yeah, I figured you guys might.
I was gonna try and play it off, but like, you
That's
know.
kind of my MO, though. I don't really know much about anything, so I'm just like, yeah, sure. Damn.
Love it.
So, both bands at the same time. When? What's the third one?
Purification by Fire was number 3.
So, we already tapped on that. How the hell did you just jump in with the band last minute, and then, like, how long were you in Purification?
I think we gave it a good, well, so 2 years ago would be what, 2023?
Yeah.
So I was in the band for 11 years.
Holy shit.
I would say that band I probably did the most shows in.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta be hitting close to 1,500 shows I've performed in my day.
1,500 shows?
I want to say I gotta be around there. 20 years of this shit?
We'll get to that. I want to talk about Purification now. Just because that's a lot. Were they a band before they met you?
Yeah. And their vocalist, they did so same thing. How I joined Otis, like Mickey was singing for him, and he was like, "Dude, I can't not be in the band or do tour. I got to go." So they're like, "Well, we're gonna do this tour regardless. We're going." And I was like, "I don't have a job that just holding me down.
Right.
I'm not gonna let you go without a vocalist. Let's go fucking learn this shit."
Do it.
So I got in the van and fucking we just hammered songs all the way up to, I think we started in Medford or maybe Portland, and then we went up and came back down. And then I did a couple runs with them, and when Enslave the Creation was around, we did a run with them in a band called PDP they're all like MI instructors and shit like that.
Okay.
So they were all professional touring bands, and we're there with fucking just a bunch of me being bald and a bunch of long-haired dudes, and just everyone's fucking wasted, pissing on each other's fucking van tires.
Nice.
And
classy affair.
Yeah.
Love it.
You know, typical partying with a metal dude.
Yep.
Metal bands.
I love it.
They don't talk about that too much. It's brutal.
The deep dark secrets.
Damn.
The animals, all of them.
So are you still doing Purification?
At this point in time, no. In the end of September, it'll be 2 years since I played a show.
Okay.
And then we just kind of...
So, thank you for sharing basically like this chart of you and where you come from and everything, because you can obviously see there's
we just scratched the surface, honestly.
Absolutely, but there's so much you can talk about in an hour, but then also too, we're going to open the room up for exactly what we wanted to talk about at the beginning. I just wanted to kind of give everybody, because everybody's heard me talk, everybody's heard Derek talk, they know where we're kind of coming from, and that's a perfect way to kind of paint your picture and stature on how we can kind of talk about the topic, which is burnout, right? Because, you know, you said 20 years, 1,500 shows. When did it hit? Where you're like, fuck this?
Fuck you. Long before I was like, yeah, I'm done, and called it. It's just like, I'm over.
Out of that 20 years, when?
Yeah, dude, I would say like 4 or 5 years ago, I started really feeling it.
Yeah.
When it just really became to that point when, you know, I'm almost 40 years old. I've been pushing this my entire life. I've given everything I have to music.
Yeah.
To try and make my name, whatever that is. I understand I'm playing death metal. I understand that, you know, playing that is not necessarily a career choice, but it's something I had to do.
Yeah.
I wanted to share my art and the things that were going on in my head. Which everything in Purification by Fire was more so a history lesson about the Sierra Nevada. Or, you know, there's a couple songs like The Illusionist was kind of about fear and how it can morph into whatever your biggest fear may be. You know, I tried, like, one of my biggest, like, coping mechanisms with anything is, like, I really like the feeling of fear, especially now that I'm older. I like looking at it, feeling it, and working my way past it. climbing trees. I'm scared as shit in those things sometimes. Like,
It's wild that like
Yeah,
you're 40 years old just being in a tree, bro. You wouldn't catch me dead in one of those motherfuckers.
His job's to, like,
Probably
take
would
the
catch
tree
me dead in
down.
them motherfuckers.
but you get up there, and what's funny is like you start, your sweat starts tasting different, and you're not really having that much of an aerobic exercise,
Good.
but you are, because your heart's just racing so much because of the adrenaline. Especially, some trees aren't as bad as others. Like
Yeah.
when you're in a dead tree that's nice and crispy.
Right.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
adrenaline's gonna start pumping
Yeah.
hard, and then you start singing, like, I don't know what it is with me, but I start singing like fucking doo-wop songs and like Supremes and shit like that.
Okay.
Out of the blue.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the way I turn my fear off to push it further. And even though I'm scared, am I still comfortable? And like, usually I tell myself the answer is yes, and that's as I've gotten older from being a snowboarder for so long.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I was just a reckless fucking kid on a fucking missile that went down a hill. I didn't like to turn that thing, and I would point it straight at a jump and just go fucking nuts. While all my friends were trying to land, I was like, no, fuck that. I'm going bigger than all you. I don't care if I land. Then that was what I did. Same thing. I started just chucking flips and eating shit. Every once in a while, I'd land. But now that I'm older, I'm almost damn near consistent every time I throw a flip. Yeah, I kind of forgot where we were going.
We were talking about the point where you hit the burnout 5 years ago.
Oh, dude, what
Everything,
really,
you're like, fuck this.
what really got to that was dealing, getting to that point where you're wanting it so hard, where you're pushing it, everybody's pushing it for the same thing, and it just starts becoming stressful because they're stressed that you're not necessarily seeing the return that you're hoping for, and let's just face it, we both know it's a money pit. All it is a passion piece, that's that simple. So, but and then you start putting money and a lot of time, and then you start looking at numbers on the board. You're like, motherfucker. All right, well, now I got these other things, and that's something like with snowboarding, I've always had. That came first. Music came second, and then now motocross is fucking the forefront of all of it. I didn't even snowboard last winter.
Oh shit.
And yeah, like 11 days. And I think 4 of those days I rode dirt bikes too. But what I really enjoy that is because everything was so wrapped and dependent on 4 other people.
Yeah.
And it wasn't working, and it kept just being. It was almost like rubbing your knuckles on a fucking cheese grater.
Okay.
Like that would just. I don't know. That's what I see going on in my head of what was going on in here.
That's so valid.
I needed to go do something, and motocross turned out to be it. And what I really love about that is it's just me.
Would you say that it's cured the burnout?
Yes, and it's also created more.
Explain that.
Well, so not just with like riding, like I'm racing. So like work time takes up about 11 hours a day. Getting to and from plus work. Then I need to figure out how to get in the gym a couple days a week to be able to ride the damn thing. So I wake up early to go to the gym and leave. So now we're looking at like 13 hours in the day. And food, now I have to take care of my bike, break it down, fix it, still stay riding. Every 3 rides I like to change the oil and, pull everything apart, re-grease it, clean it, put it back together. Believe it or not, dirt bikes don't really care for dirt all that much. So, there's just so much maintenance and so much shit going on while doing so. And this year I've had, I think right now I'm at race 17 so far this season.
Okay.
And some of these races are 3-day races. So, I got to take a day off of work and sometimes 2 to travel. Or I'll leave like a half day like I did in the last 2 weekends of June. I went to Southern California for 3 days and drove directly home with food poisoning and raced, which was one of the most toughest things I've had to do in my life. It's insanely dehydrated.
Like which food poisoning? Was it like someone stabbing you constantly with a samurai sword in the stomach? Or were you coming out
with like a broom handle?
That one's the worst.
Dude, just fucking...
It's like, dude, I'd rather have the shits and the vomits than...
Well, I was making myself puke because my stomach was on fire.
Because the samurai sword is...
I've never had that before. That was fucked up.
It hurts.
On top of that, I'm used to like 38-degree nights in Tahoe, and I'm down in fucking Boron, California, and it's 98 degrees at 10:30 at night.
Great band.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
It's always a bad.
Great band.
Dude, as I'm leaving that fucking gas station in the morning, I stopped at the gas station to fucking get like electrolytes, so I was feeling better while I was traveling down. It was Friday morning. See this kid sitting on the side of the road, and he's like not busking, but he's just playing and jamming by himself and just keeping himself entertained with a sign up saying trying to get to LA. Start talking to him. The kid grew up in Tahoe, knew all of IDK, knew who I was from IDK. Took a picture of, or like, he was like, dude, can I get a picture with you, man? And he was like, dude, he's like, I've totally seen you play before. So took a photo and
Solid.
was super fired up on that. And like, I just kind of thought he was a burnout kid that was like out just drifting around the country and gave up on life. And apparently he wasn't. He was like, his dad had passed away. He took his inheritance and then put all of his belongings in storage, including getting rid of his vehicle, threw a guitar on his backpack and his bare necessities, and just said, I'm touring the fucking country on my own.
Wow.
And he's like, I want to go experience life, and that's how he's doing it.
That's the way to do it.
And dude, he was just so happy.
Yeah.
And like, it kind of threw me off guard a little bit, as far as like, that's not your stereotypical person on the side of the road,
Right.
just playing acoustic guitar in the fucking desert.
Whoever that is, we wish you the safest of journeys.
Hell yeah, man. I don't remember your name, but if you see this.
But that's it. That's all we want you to be, is safe. Other than that, experience the fuck out of that journey, because all of us wish to be in your shoes.
It would be cool to be that free. I don't know if I could be that free, though.
I don't know. It depends on what you call as far as freedom. You know what I mean? Not showering for me it doesn't feel very free, dude. I'm just kidding. That's like the rough part.
Yeah. Silver lining.
Man.
I'm gonna say, you can ask some people in Tahoe that they just smell like patchouli, so I don't.
Yeah.
I think that's their scent of freedom, and I'm not about that.
Yeah.
I know a lot of free people that are not the best people in the world.
Well, if you do not mind, Josh, I'm gonna turn it over to Derek to also throw it down on the burnout subject.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been every day's work. Work's exhausting. Get home. It's always the same things to do. Go to shows. I mean, the thing that I do that gets me like out of burnout, or feeling burned out and depressed about being burned out, is going to shows. And then I come back and go to work the next day. There's another show to go to. The next day I'm burned out. I don't want to go, and I make myself go. And I have a great time. Like it's great every time, but then. Like, I don't even feel like I'm doing that much, and like every day I'm just like, fuck.
So it's funny that you bring that
over.
It's funny that you bring that up, because like my recent burnout, it just came from everywhere. Just doing that breakdown of motocross thing, but with shows as well. This is what like really just fucking like overcooked it, and what made sent my questioning into like maximum overdrive as to where I'm at, who I am, what am I doing, why am I doing this, is the thing that I have put so much effort into, playing music, seeing shows, and putting shows on. I can't stand it anymore. It just fucking I'd much rather be at home with this creature here just hanging out.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm always afraid of.
It's not that I'm like, I don't know what it is. I really don't. Like, I do know that I'm thankful that I do have these other outlets away from music.
Yeah.
And like music's gotten me high essentially in multiple ways in one. When you pull off a dope show, there's no greater feeling.
Yeah, right.
especially when those triangles align. It does happen, but when it does, you know it, and it's the greatest fucking feeling. And everybody should be giving each other over the pants handies at the end of the night at the bar, being like, "Fuck yeah, we just did that."
It's never like that, by the way.
Except that one time.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Allegedly.
Yeah. I've definitely seen and done some things that I've held another man's penis before that was not mine. It was my own bandmates. So it's not gay if it's your own band.
That's
so
true.
I've been
That's
told.
true.
So
That's true.
he just
What are we talking about?
Well, he needed assistance, dude. Like we were both standing at a urinal, and I was buzzed the fuck up, and I just reached over and was like, "There you go, brother. I'm here for your support." And surprisingly, he didn't. He was like, "What the? All right." Like we both followed through with it, but I would say that was one of the most awkward moments of my life, and that was the only time I've ever touched another man's penis.
You heard it here first again. That's yeah, band life.
There's like a Rolodex. It's like
Didn't expect it to go that direction, now, did you?
Are they alphabetized? Or they?
Yeah, the way he made it sound like there was
Like
like more,
color?
but there's like not more.
Like shape and sleep.
I don't understand that.
There was the first one.
Like it was the first one, but like why is there BUT at the end of that? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Anyway, back to the burnout.
As you were saying.
But no, I mean it does. It feels like it's coming from everywhere, and like there's. It's not even that I hate everything I do. I love my job. I'm good at my job. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I love going to shows. I love music. I love going and seeing my friends. But like, it's every day feels just as exhausting as the last, and more exhausting and more exhausting. And like I find myself just not wanting to do shit. I'm uninspired. And I, it comes in waves. There's one day I feel like that, and the next day I'm fucking totally fine.
Yeah, and it hit me too. Like I said, like I just like I don't even feel like I'm an anxious person. Like when I do feel anxiety is like when I'm sitting in that race gate, and like the only time I'm like not comfortable smoking weed is in that scenario.
Right.
Snowboarding, dropping into like a gnarly face that is fucking terrifying. Gotta get stoned, gotta slow the heart rate down. But there's just something about sitting in that start gate where it's just like, fuck, dude, the intensity that's through the roof. And it shuts you down. Like that's my favorite place to be.
Yeah.
But like I said recently, that the having to be everywhere all the time, because when you're doing that, exercising and everything, like to keep up with that race pace, I got burnout. I got tired of, and it's something that I love doing. Mm-hmm. I was burnout on that. I was burnout on music. I was burnout on even riding my bike. I was burnout on going to the gym. Like going to work, even though I work with some of my favorite and best friends.
Yeah.
And my family on top of that. And, they say that sometimes working with family is the hardest. And yeah, me and my uncle butt some heads doing it, but we do really, really well.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was just like, dude, I have no wind in my sail to where I lost all emotion. Like it was just gone. I didn't feel anything. And
definitely can relate to that.
Still, just recently, last weekend, we lost a friend at the motocross track from Reno, in kind of a freak accident. Don't really know what happened, and that helped crack some tears that I needed to get out. But at the same time, like, fuck, I feel I should have let more. I don't know. Like, my emotions are definitely a lot different than they were, and I think looking deeper at it, we might all be going through something over the last few years. Like, I mean, I hate pointing it at one thing, but at a time frame when you bring up COVID, like there's a lot of traumatic shit that happened in that time frame on multiple different levels to so many people. I don't feel a whole lot hit me. The COVID itself didn't really strike home. It took a few friends out that I was like from high school and stuff like that, but like it was the aftermath of like the depression, the drug abuse, the alcoholism. I think it went through the fucking.
Oh yeah.
I know. I started drinking
Dude.
really hard, and that's why I'm like 3 years sober now. Is because
congrats. Fuck yeah.
like I was just going way too hard, and I honestly felt I was on the verge of death, which was like I was burnt out on partying.
Yeah.
And like it's a pivotal point. As we have these conversations and burnout keeps coming up, and what's happening in my brain, especially what I just came to the realization, is like at each point you hit a burnout, it's time to change and fucking like bounce and deflect to a different direction.
Everything grows, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and stress makes things grow.
Yeah.
So that's that's something we have to keep remembering when we're feeling like this, is that stress makes us grow. Why the fuck are we doing this? And as we were talking not too long ago when we opened this thing up, man, what are we gonna do? Sink or swim? And like already right now, this conversation's fucking cool, and more people need to have this, whether it's in front of a camera with microphones or not.
Yeah.
Like
absolutely.
this is the kind of like stuff that I feel. You look at our parents and the way that they grew up, they didn't have none of the social media shit.
No, not at all.
They did this. When they socialized, they weren't on their phone fucking in a corner fucking railing a line and then getting back on their phone.
Yeah, right.
Like they were railing lines.
They were still.
They just weren't on their phones about it,
No, they came up with ideas.
Yeah, but they were all like, not saying that doesn't happen, but it's a whole different level of I think losing connection and socializing, or socializing and losing a connection with having this on our sides, or even just the influence of anything, I guess. I don't know. But this conversation, like having conversations like this with your friends, is something that I feel should happen more often. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Take some time, turn the day off, and open it up and fucking crack the worms. Let's talk about some shit.
It's also important for like young men to have an outlet as well, to show like grown men being able to be vulnerable on a platform and like talk about some shit. You know what I mean? Not just making the fart jokes
babies.
or talking about conspiracy theories all the time, but legitimately like, hey man, this is what's fucking me up, and this is how I got through it. And it doesn't matter how many times you hear that from the amount of people we'll bring on here. Everybody's story is wildly similar as it is so wildly different at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not the same. Each one powerful in their own freaking divine. But every time, like, it's funny because when you guys kept talking about like throwing burnout back and forth, I always have this thing that like sticks in my head every time, just because I always feel burnout the minute I'm about to like want to do something very important in my life, and so I always tend to not do it.
So would you say that almost goes back to that whole feeling of like making yourself stressed to like dump the clutch, if you will?
I get the yips because I will do all of this. I will build the studio up. I will get projects ripping and rolling and put my heart out there, and there's something in me, and I don't know who broke me personally or if I did it to myself, but I will always not feel good enough. So I always go into a lot of these scenarios just having to just do it. Every time. There's nothing that's ever pushed me where I've been inspired to do any of this, even beyond stage. Because anytime I'm about to go on stage, all I can think about is I don't deserve to be there, and I just want to throw up out of my fucking stomach. And then I blink and it's over. And then
It's crazy how fast it goes, isn't it?
Yeah, and then I meet everybody else after that, and they're like, wow, this really fucking did something for me. Thank you for taking away like me for 30 minutes of my shitty day and stuff. And so you have to tell yourself at the end of the day, like, your imposter syndrome can only go so far. You know what I mean?
Dude,
but
I
don't know if I've ever really enjoyed these high moments that most people would say, like, this was the highest peak of my life and I'm going to carry it forever. Me, I'm like, I don't think I'll ever experience that.
I'm right there with you. One of my favorite Hatebreed albums is Satisfaction is the Death of Desire. and I kind of live to that. Like, it's, do you if you get to that point, do you have desire anymore?
Right.
I have the most desire. I'll tell you what, when you said that, when you're like that whole, I mean, unfortunately, I'm not like discounting that whole scenario. Like, we don't want to brush past somebody fucking dying ever. That's so fucking, did he die or something?
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's fucking so sad, dude. But you said it like it made you shed a few tears, but it kind of broke something that you needed to break loose. You know?
Yeah, you know, and the thing, what was cool that really helped in that scenario is sometimes in a somber scenario such as that, you can find the absolute beauty in who we are as humans. No matter what the battles that we see people doing on Facebook and whatever the world we're living in and the polarity that we have as humans, something like that makes people come together, and you see camaraderie happen fucking right here, right now, and that's the only thing that fucking matters.
Absolutely. Now, the only reason I bring that up is because, I mean, I didn't really get a chance to tell you, and I don't even know why I didn't really cancel this interview, because I probably should have given myself more time, but I did lose my dog last Friday.
No, man.
And all I can think of is exactly what you said. I just felt something break in me that I needed to break. I don't know what it was, but I was screaming a lot. I didn't realize I was doing it. I was hearing the screaming and realizing, oh fuck, that was me. Like, kind of letting out like just some primal shit. That broke my heart. But at the end of this tunnel, when you talk about desire, fire, and things that you want, I don't think I've ever felt this inspired in my life.
I'm right there with you on that. On a whole, I mean,
and I feel so guilty to say that after losing somebody.
Yeah, loss is
but like,
quite the
it
motivator.
awoke in this motherfucker in me. I'm so mad. Like, I'm so mad. I've never been this mad before in my life.
That's you know, and in a different scenario, like. Let's look at, because I've done this before a couple times, where something happens to me and I go to the gym because deep down inside the pain is fucking real, i.e. a breakup or something, and that's where I needed to go focus on, or, you know, your enemy, whatever that enemy may be, which that was when I wish I could do what I was doing then mentally. I was so violent in my head when I was like training to kill somebody. In my head, I was like in the gym doing whatever I could to wear myself down. You're not gonna fucking beat me because I'm better than you, I'm stronger than you, and I'm way more pissed off. So the motions, the things that I was training, it was coming up in my head. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Right. As far as like, I don't know, it was just something I was developing on my own. It was a very high intensity style workout, a lot of core strengthening and a lot of pushing and like striking motions with resistance. But I was in the gym fucking sometimes 13 sessions a week, just fucking getting it. And I was just fucking pissed. That was a place I knew I could go and let out that positive energy. On top of that,
oh, our boy Steven's all about
and
getting your ass in the
what
gym
gets him going.
for mental strength and positive.
But that's what I love about motocross, though. Like, there's like the gym's good for that. You want to take it to the next level, fucking
risk your fucking life.
Yeah, put your life on the line with some fucking throttle over here. And
flammable gas.
Like everybody gets on a dirt bike and their initial thoughts to just fucking you know, and that's why people get fucking hurt on the things. And that happened to me. I was in the ER 4 fucking times last year. I fucked myself up. And somehow, like, I did a race, I crashed, ate shit, broke 4 ribs, got up, finished that race.
Jesus Christ.
Ate 1600 milligrams of ibuprofen, sat for 3 hours, waited for my next race, and my buddy's like, "You gonna go do it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go do the start at Lease, and if I can finish, I'll finish." And I ended up finishing 3rd.
Scared of this guy.
It was just like, dude, how in the fuck did I finish in 3rd with broken ribs?
No shit.
That was one of definitely the hardest thing I've ever done mentally. Was have to do that. And like right now with what I'm doing is I'm chasing a like championship.
Cool.
So by doing so, I have to be there fucking every day riding.
Good.
Yeah.
And you have to ride under any condition if you want that.
Right.
Which is going back to that burnout of the band of, you know, something I've loved so much. And wait, you guys forgot to point a couple of them.
No.
So what are we? I'm gonna just.
Oh, dude,
We're at least like 13 or 14
we're
right now.
locked in this conversation. That's what we're doing.
You know, going back to like the being burnout on the band and needing something different. Like I had to fill that void.
Yeah.
And what also happened? So I think it was like September 28th was the last day the last performance of Purification by Fire.
Oh
And we're back.
And we're back. And he decided to take himself out, and it just really put me in a spot, and I needed to go scare myself. Which, going back to letting fear kind of be my guidance, I showed up at Prairie City, which is a national motocross track that the pros hit every year. Never ridden a racetrack, like a tuned up motocross track in my life, and I show up and I see this thing and I'm like, what in the fuck am I doing here? I don't belong here. Well, I'm here, let's do this. And put my eval vest on and went and hopped in the beginner gate, and my very first gate drop ever, fucking dumped the clutch, stalled it, and everybody took off. And I heard the announcer, and there's our beginner, folks. And I'm sitting there like, oh, I gotta start my engine, let's go.
Talk about like the pressure just going oof, right off.
Oh, it was gone. But then I just felt like an absolute goon.
Dude, that's
Because it like
that's the story
in
of my
the
life right
organization, the organization that we race with, like if you're like just joining, they're gonna put a vest on you, so they know who you are. Because they try to make it as safe as possible.
Sure.
Because let's face it, it's not the safest sport to play, especially when it's called over the hill gang. You got to be 30 and up. So it's all 30 and up dudes. Even dude, I met a guy that was 72. Dude! Yeah, and a woman that was 72 as well.
No shit.
She wasn't ripping. But she's there and she's doing it.
So funny, dude.
She's there, she's doing it, and she loves it, man.
That's
like,
great,
dude, imagine if she doesn't have any kids at all.
Yeah, right.
But, I mean, dude, imagine if your grandma's at the fucking track riding dirt bike still.
I mean, that's fucking sick.
Like, that's, you know, if you're like, you know, you got to keep fucking moving. At 72,
I don't know,
like
Josh,
that was the thing
You
that
could be grandpa.
I always had this live fast, die young mentality.
Only as old as you feel.
I had this live fast, die young mentality, and that was like one of my favorite covers that Pennywise did. That was the first time I heard that song was from them. So, but live fast, die young, and like it was just embedded. And I just loved snowboarding. I loved. At the time, it was more BMX. I wasn't fucking good at it at all. And it was like right when X Games was coming out. So it was just like, yeah, dude, I'm going to drink Mountain Dew and fucking get extreme. Hell yeah.
You can do.
And it just, here I am. I'm not as young anymore, and I'm still alive. And I'm in better shape now than I was in my 30s.
That's a good thing.
And I'm still like picking up more things. I mean, fuck, started racing motocross at 42 years old.
Do you see yourself coming back to music at all?
If the opportunity sprung itself, yeah.
What about throwing shows or festivals?
I'm not doing it by myself. That's hands down. That's what burned me out, was doing it by myself. Like when you're the only one that has that vision and dreamed of trying to make something happen, that's where you're gonna get burnout from carrying so much weight.
Yeah.
I feel like you caught me at like the tip of my burnout when I was booking shows in Reno.
We were both like right there.
Say like that's when we actually hooked chains, and you were like trying to get like this coalition going, and I was just like, you know what, Josh, I love you, but fuck everybody. You know what I mean? Because when you're trying to book shows, please everybody, and you are one of those promoters that don't take any dollars and give every bit of revenue to the bands that are either coming through or even locally to try to help get them started. There's no thank yous, there's no nothing, dude. Like, by the end of the day, you're out of money, you're out of sleep, you weren't spending any time with your family, you weren't even spending time giving shit to your hobbies and stuff. And
then on top of that, like, for anybody listening that made it back to the IDK house when we lived, I mean, the first IDK house was just like, holy fuck. That was like Beavis, Butthead, Dickhead, and Uranus living in the same fucking house. Like,
is that a sequel?
Maybe. But dude, some of the shit, like, I almost got a red hot fire poker to my face. I watched it like kind of spin around my head and hit a wall. Came out of the fire, just got fucking flung out. I was standing behind Jeff. And he let that thing rip, dude. The fucking fire bombs going off in the fireplace, rolling through the kitchen. The band played on the roof when the day they decided to move out of the house, and when they figured it was time to move out, they picked up the couch and just threw it right out the fucking this huge bay window. My baby, like it, dude. That house was fucking mayhem. There was this symbol that was just like kept getting thrown in the fire. It was all fucked up, but like every single wall in the house was obliterated. Just shit fucking with drywall hanging out off of every single wall, and it was all from that symbol just getting thrown through the house. But the house behind Whiskey Dicks, when I was doing all the shows there, because like at one point in time, man, I was doing 3 to 5 shows a week, like, while working a real job.
That's brutal.
I was working for Lagunitas selling beer while I was doing PB&J's when that was a thing. So I was doing that, Whiskey Dicks. I was doing the Alley and Whiskey Dicks at one point with IDK and 2 bands. Like, that definitely broke a relationship. 2 bands while running a promotion company and having a job that was like 60 to 70 hours a week.
Yeah, sounds like a lot to juggle.
Oh, yeah.
God damn.
I was like, numerous times I slept.
Now you wonder why you burnt out.
Dude, but I do that to myself. Why? I don't know.
Because, dude, you need to feel something.
Stress the fuck out. Even though I don't feel that I'm stressed out. Like, I try to always, calm blue ocean all the time.
No, man.
Sometimes I fall apart, and like I said, it just happened recently, and that's what I've learned, is that it's okay. And you need to have people to fall back on and trust those people, because there's going to be people there that do love you and want to be there for you, even when you're like the positive part of the magnet that's not getting along with the other positive part of the magnet. Like, that's the thing with me. When I start getting fucking weird, I like to isolate.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel my energy, and I don't want people to know it.
Oh, yeah.
At my cousin's wedding a couple weeks ago, I had, like, because I was going through all of that, I was on the back end of it, and I was a little nervous to hang out with my whole family. It's been a while, and just, we'll just say some things happened in the past that made me feel uncomfortable, and I was expecting that to happen, and thankfully it didn't happen again.
That's good.
And but at the same time, I was like I didn't want my energy to be around everybody that was happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like my family wanted me to come hang out, and it took a minute, but once I saw my cousin Chris dabbing people out and making people drop like flies that don't smoke dabs.
that I recognize that. Like, you don't want to go, and you dread it, and you're like just bummed out, and like,
but sometimes that's what crack.
But then you get there. You have to get there. If you get there, for me, like 99% of the time, within an hour, I'm like happy. I'm so happy to be there. I'm so glad I went out and did it.
Kind of like going to the gym when you don't want to. When you leave, you've expelled all that energy. You feel so much better when you walk through that door.
Has anybody been in a scenario where it's it's made it worse? Because like everyone's like, I just forced myself to do it, and like you did, you're like, I fucking wish I didn't do that. Wish I didn't do that one.
Yes.
You ever do that at all?
Yeah, I mean, but that comes down to like discipline. Same thing with like me hurting myself on my dirt bike. When I did my ribs and finished the race, what happened was I just got into 3rd place, and at the time that was the best I had finished in the class I had just bumped up to. And I was like, I knew I had a little less than 2 laps left, and I was like, do I hold on and finish in third, or do I go chase down second? And I remember cracking the throttle and being like, I'm gonna go get second. The race is not over. And the next thing you know, I'm on the ground. That part of the discipline of, like, I didn't just roll onto the throttle, I just fucking hammered down. And I got behind the power, if you will, so the bike was pulling on me, and it got into a rut and got squirrely, and I went down. So that's where that discipline on your throttle or your life or how you approach things.
Right.
You know, even though you want it that bad, you don't just hammer on the throttle. You kind of got to ease into it.
Right.
Use some finesse.
Yeah. Words to live by.
I think that's how I would answer that. You know, when you start forcing things, that's when you get abrasions.
And that's all I got to say about that.
Lube it up, grease it. Ease into it.
Well, we are definitely at the hemorrhage of an hour. I know that for sure.
Oh, yeah.
You're already checking your phone. I get it.
No, I got it. That was unrelated.
But I always like towards the end here because it's good. It's chaotic. There's no agenda. We open it up and we went everywhere. And yet we landed right back here at the ending.
Yeah. Hold on. There's something I wanted to tap in that I thought was pretty special that you had with Jared. You're talking about musicians and feelings and emotions and how we feel differently. People that know how to transform their energy or their emotions into an energy, such as music and the way we perform it. Even though I didn't really sing a lot about my energies that I was feeling inside, that's where I let out all the just vile hate.
Yeah, the performance alone is
like, that's where that energy, like, I've had a couple friends see me that know me as just like, you know, big giant teddy bear dude. And then they're like, holy shit, what the fuck was that? Like, you are terrifying. And it's like, no, I'm not.
Speaking of, I mean, you'd be the good guy to talk about this, or talk to you about this. I'm trying to get this guy in a band, fronting a band, screaming for band. He's really good.
We need some fucking people to play music.
Fucking really, really good.
That's what I think needs to happen.
Yeah.
Weren't you jamming with somebody recently, though?
Well, not recently. I auditioned with Emberwake a while back.
Okay.
But that's the extent of it. Yeah. As far as that went. And I know, again, that kind of comes to the uninspired thing. Like, I've been just, like, the idea of finding another thing to work and make work and dedicate more time to, and then just...
You know what's fun with that? That's when you kind of, like... I really like editing, even if it's like old recycled clips of shit.
See, I get overwhelmed by all of that. Like, the second I look at it, it just like...
I'm not saying do editing. Yeah. Do something that's like non-physical that can occupy your brain.
Yeah. Like
that's when I'm not really feeling super physical. I like taking the rad shit that I've done,
right,
and then I'll be like, oh, I'm just gonna piece clips together, and I'll start tweaking on that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, you could probably come up with some other things to occupy your time and your brain.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like I'm learning a skill by doing that.
I see you diving off stages and screaming in people's
I do that. I did do a little bit of that at the Acacia Strain show.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
So I mean, yeah, but that's the thing. Once I'm at a show, in a crowd, in that environment, it's like the light comes on. It's all there.
This is why you would thrive in a band.
I know.
But I get that same thing with, like, you know, snowboarding was my escape. Like, when I was all fucked up, you know, not knowing who I was, not really having an identity, snowboarding definitely helped give me that confidence in life.
Yeah.
When kids started realizing that the nerd kid that they go to, that's in their, like, third period English class,
right,
that doesn't talk to anybody, is a ripping snowboarder.
Yeah.
And, like, 'cause all my friends were older, so I was, like, snowboarding with them.
Yeah, right.
And then they'd see me on the mountain and be like, yo, that Lease kid, fucking kind of cool. And then, I don't know, that just kind of gave me some confidence.
Yeah.
But that it was my outlet. That's what carried me. Then music came along, and music carried me. being in nature, no matter what it is, like challenging myself in nature, whether it just be, I don't like hiking something unless I'm riding something down it.
Right.
For the most
See,
part.
I don't like hiking something unless I'm killing something at the top. Like
I like killing lines and fucking trying not to kill myself.
I hear you. No, but I drew deer and elk tags this year.
Nice. My buddy just drew it's not an infinity tag, but he's it has a deer tag for everything.
Oh yeah.
Until he hits something, whether it's muzzle, whether it's musket, whether it's bow, in all zones too, I guess. Which sounds pretty wild.
Yeah.
He scored in the lottery.
That's a win. That's a big win. This is the first time I've drawn tags in years, like 3 or 4 years probably.
I could see that being super fun, but I
love it. I fucking love it.
Dude, bow hunting seems like it would be...
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fucking work.
And skill. And where you have to go here to be able to get that close.
Yeah.
You gotta be so primitive.
There's a thing about it where you're not even there. I mean, you're locking into it so much that you... as it's happening, it's like you're not... You're seeing it happen. You're not doing it. You're not locked into a way that you're focused on the thing. You're it's almost like a ethereal thing that you're seeing and being a part of. And it's fucking intense. And it's an intimidating moment. And then it's over in a second.
Yeah.
I mean, once if you let that arrow go and it hits where it's supposed to hit.
Such as being on a stage.
Yeah.
Such as pointing it down this gnarly shit.
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna in a minute and 30 seconds, you're gonna have the most insane
time travel.
Adrenaline rush of your life.
Yeah.
And I remember I went to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and we were out hiking in the side country there, which is fucking big country shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And we were hiking around, and I was like, I want to come back and get that next year. I want to come back with gear. I'm going to go get that face. Came back next year. I went and got that face, and when I came down at the bottom of that thing, it had a roll in it. So when you're going down, it's just this big shelf, and then it just turns blue. You can't see anything because you just can't see what's down on the other side. And it hits 55 degrees for about 1,000 feet.
Good fucking God.
And I made 4 turns down it. And just came in cooking, but when I got to the bottom of that big face, my hands were just fucking, dude, I was shaking so fucking bad. And that kind of shit becomes addicting. And I got that from music. I get that from riding a dirt bike.
Yeah.
When, like I said earlier, my favorite cocktails, fear, adrenaline, and throttle.
Hell yeah.
When you overcome that, you feel that rush of adrenaline. That's what honestly really keeps me going.
Yeah.
When I think of all of it, that to me, that's my antidote to a good life and making myself happy. And I almost would say my therapist. But lately, with what I just went through, I honestly feel that it might be that time for me to actually sit down with somebody that is a therapist and actually crack into the things that I didn't want to crack into, sit here and go a little in depth.
Yeah.
Because why am I willing to demolish something that is so beautiful? When you're getting along with a significant very well, and you're just nope, I'm done fucking closing up all the doors and fucking this key's gone.
Yeah.
Why the fuck do I do that? That's not the first,
We'll help you try to dissect what that is, right? They're not I know most I'm saying probably when I'm with a very few dudes on your hands is I went to therapy, it saved my life. I'll say that honestly.
Yeah.
My whole ass chest, because it did, because I was fighting some fucking demons, boy. Sorry. Good ones.
Yeah.
But it wasn't necessarily going and just telling your stories, because obviously you go into a place you're please don't make me fucking talk about myself, because you don't want to. But once you start kind of explaining and showing your mannerisms and giving out what's shooting your fucking cortisol levels up and everything, these individuals go, hey, I've heard a lot of cases, this one's a little different, so it's okay to feel different. Or they go, this is very normal, there's a lot of people that feel this way, so this is how we handle it. And you go, fuck yeah, you know what I mean? Because there's tools for each one.
Yeah.
They just analyzed how they give them to you. I guess my biggest thing, I was living with so much pain that I didn't realize it. I was so much pain, trauma, and everything that was just it literally felt like I I don't know, like wearing a bed of needles all the time. And then when I went and sat down and explained it to somebody that was like a trained professional, like where I was mentally and what had fucking happened to me, even she was like, I'm so fucking sorry. And I was like, wow, that's a first for me as a man, for someone to like sit and listen to me, and then say, that is not normal. And that is exactly why you're feeling the way you're feeling.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shit my fucking pants, Josh. Because what kind of validation do you get from anybody in that? Not in our nature.
Right.
You know, we're not allowed to say those things to each other. You say those things to like your partner and shit, instantly she dries up, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, where do you go for these things? And that's why I tell all my teams,
and
like,
I
used to
just
think
therapy,
like,
baby.
this would be the best therapy, but sometimes you can't.
You can get so much from this.
You can, and that's what I'm starting to realize right now, because, you know, like, we could keep this thing going for another couple hours if I really wanted to start opening up and dumping some more of the past out. But, you know, there's things that fucked me up, and,
always have you back,
you know,
too.
that was like, you know, not normal for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it was normal for me, and that's I learned to cope with it. And I feel like I had friends in high school that had a lot handed to them, and they came out fucking not that great.
Not good.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you know, and not in the greatest shape, or so they're not even here.
Exactly.
And they had the structure, they had
Everything.
you know, they had the foundation to have a good life in front of them.
And threw it away.
Myself, I don't want to say I didn't, but it was definitely not normal to most.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have the family, you know, I had family, but I didn't have mom and dad, careers and shit like that.
Right.
Like, I didn't know my dad. I didn't have much of a testosterone influence growing up. Like, my grandfather passed away when I was 13 years old, 14 years
You
old.
try to say that doesn't fuck with you, but it does.
Oh, dude,
it
growing up,
everything, yeah.
growing up in, like, let's just say my mother was preoccupied with what she had going on in her life, so she wasn't giving me the time to have structure when I was 13, 14 years old. And then there was my grandmother. Generation gap was huge. I love my grandmother to death. She's the sweetest lady on the fucking planet.
Right.
And then there was my great grandmother, who I had to help take care of, who was 90 something years old, and she was dementia, Alzheimer's, and that's how I grew up. And so I had a lot of women around me, and I thought I was wrong or weird because people in my family thought I was gay because I didn't have any male influence.
I talk
about
this all the time, about having to reverse come out to my mom and be like, hey, I actually have a girlfriend. And she's like, what the fuck? And everybody at the party's like handing money and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
I feel that's in my core, bro.
But I mean, to their defense, it kind of made sense. I had hot girls from all the high schools. I never made advancements on any of them. I never, like, they're like, dude, these girls want to hang out with you, like, for sure. Why aren't you doing anything? And I was just like,
what do you mean?
I'm scared. Like, going back to the, you know, the confidence thing. I'm still scared, like. But I like being scared now. Like I was saying, I really like the thing I keep going back to that just promotes growth and helps me get away from that burnout. Even though sometimes the things that I'm chasing and I want burn me out, I just have to go to that other one.
Right.
But pushing myself to the point where I'm now stepping out of my comfort zone. Why I'm burnt out, facing that fear. Reason being is I have a chaotic mind that just, call it what you will. Some people might say it's ADD. I'm just me. My brain works differently than others, and as it should.
Yeah, right.
But like, it's
a beautiful brain, Josh. I love it.
I do dishes. I never finish the dishes, and I'm doing laundry. I don't finish the laundry, and then I'm cleaning the bathroom. It's like, my house is clean, but it's also like, what the fuck? Like, do you not finish certain, like?
It's like 7, 8.
Yeah, I got so much shit going on. I don't quite finish everything, but at least something's getting done.
Yeah, you're like, I'm doing the laundry because I got to make a sandwich.
When I'm in that
I've been there.
That scenario, that's my moment of zen. That's when nothing else fucking matters. When safety and like health is on the line for my personal satisfaction. This is kind of the reason why I also like stopped drinking, is I wanted to really start tapping into my personal limits.
Experiencing everything raw is the most real motherfucker shit you can do.
And like, you know, I'm not the greatest snowboarder. I'm never gonna be a fucking pro dirt biker, but you know what? I'm pushing my fucking limits doing it. And when I'm doing those things, like yesterday I did a fucking line on my mountain bike that was like uncomfortably fast through trees, and I was like, dude, if I lose it here, I'm fucked.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and
that's what keeps you from losing it, though.
Yeah, but that focus is what, like, is my medicine. Like, when I'm burnt out, I need to go do that.
Right.
Even if it's sometimes the things that might burn me out, like going back to racing. Like, I love being on my dirt bike, everything about it, but all the things that come along with it, like I said, you know, with going to work so I can afford to do that, because that shit ain't cheap.
Right.
Going to work, cleaning it, riding it, gym, making sure I'm in shape to do the said thing, like it's a lot of fucking work, and it burns me the fuck out.
I may have to pull the plug on this podcast right here, because in this genuine moment, the burnout just became a positive thing.
It really did.
Ended on a good note.
What the fuck just happened, dude? Did anybody else just see that happen?
Awesome.
Yeah, dude, that's nuts.
Sorry.
I think that's...
If you watch this podcast all the way through, we went from talking about being burnt the fuck out on everything, but then taking that burnout and utilizing it to everything that we do.
To fuel it to go further.
So we almost need it to thrive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fucked up.
Absolutely.
Dude, this show fucks me up every time. I hate it.
The name is fitting, you know.
No, it's frustrating.
I understand it.
Yeah.
Dude, it goes back to like when Dave was like, "You pay to sleep," and I was like, "Why did you say that to me?" Now I go to bed every night like, fuck.
I'm paying for this fucking sleep. I'm paying to be
Just fucking
unconscious.
racking up, and I'm not doing anything.
It's just frustrating, dude.
Every second of every day is
Yeah, so
recharged.
everybody just says real shit on there, and now it's fucking me up. But yeah, no, the only reason I want to pull the plug is because if we go any further, it's going to dilute exactly what we did just now. So,
I agree, and that opens up for...
We found a good note.
We got to have the next word.
that was great. So, this is the end for this one.
That was
Obviously.
fucking fun.
We'll have Josh Leaks back.
We got a lot more to cover.
Yeah, we need to bring more dudes in here and then figure this out, because I feel like we're cracking open this beautiful omelet as we're releasing the second season. I think it's like way more fun than the first one. I feel like the first one we were just scammering to make it make sense, but this one is just like shit. We're just opening up.
Let's
vats.
see what the fuck everybody's up to.
We're opening up these vats of shit, and we're just gonna keep harping on it. So. Thank you for coming on, man. Like, I
man, thank you. That was
appreciate
fun.
you coming down the mountain, like, fucking everything, bringing the doggo.
Yeah, well, good job. Way to hold the fort down. She's probably hungry.
So, but yeah, this is the end. Obviously,
This is the end.
I never know how to close these things out, but thank you for watching.
Can you just dub in "This is the end" from the Doors?
Sure. If it's, I mean, we can play like 30 seconds of it before this shit gets pulled down for copyright.
We only need like...
DCMA.
Just this is
Couple
the
measures,
end.
dude.
That's all you
How
need.
about I just... Okay, everybody pause for 1 second. Everybody pause. Okay, that was the clip of what he told me to play. All right, so anyway, from the bottom of our hearts, this shouldn't work. And for some reason it does. And we love you. And that's a wrap on this one.
There you go.
Guys.
Wait, everybody say burnout. 1, 2, 3.
Burn
out.
If you or a loved one is having a hard time, please reach out and get some professional help. Here are some links to get you guys started. We would rather hear your stories than attend your funerals. The world is always a better place with you in it. Now, as you wait for new episodes, please follow us and our affiliates. We love you guys. Keep your heads up.